The Knock 'em Dead Comedy Radio Show also brought to you by Two Eagles Auto Body. For more than 25 years, Two Eagles Auto Body has been the leader in auto body repairs and customer satisfaction on Long Island. Two Eagles Auto Body handles every type of auto repair, from custom applications and restorations to repairs involving insurance claims. So call Two Eagles Auto Body and ask for John Rossi at 516-328-2527.
Hey Tony, you're not funny, and you probably shit yourself a lot, and you're no fun to be with, and you don't make that much money, and you're not going anywhere in show business, and I hope you get hit by a bus, and
Hugh Murray canceled. So you're stuck with just me. Sorry. All the best to Hugh Murray. He is going to be on Hershey and the Keeks tonight. But I've been worried. He skipped out on Treading Water last Thursday. And he canceled on me this morning. But he said he is definitely going to be on Hershey and the Keeks. Should have canceled on them and done this show. Damn it. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Knock 'em Dead Comedy Show. We are coming at you live from Governor's Comedy Club. Please follow us on Twitch and on YouTube and on Facebook and on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter. And I think that's it. please follow us and share the link to this show and all of our shows on your socials. Tell everybody you know about all the great shows at Governor's Comedy Club Podcast. And don't forget, we announced yesterday we're running a contest. Send us a screenshot of you sharing a link to any of our shows here at Gov's Comedy Club Podcast, and you can get free admission for you and a guest to any of the Governor's Comedy Club shows this weekend, except in the Giggle Room. The Giggle Room, the people independently produce shows in there, so people have to pay, so those people get paid. People have to pay. Yeah, that's right. But yeah, come to the main stage here at Governor's in Levittown, the brokerage in Belmore, or McGuire's out in Bohemia. Great shows this weekend. Vic DiBettetto, Jay Black, Mark Riccadonna. Mark Riccadonna will be on this show on Friday. You can see that. And you can see him on our Drinks, Jokes, and Storytelling every Monday. Hope you checked it out yesterday. It's on YouTube if you want to see it. Megan Hanley's playing this weekend. Rob White, Laura Patton, Mike Tanzi, Billy Geyer, Marcy Green, Tom Galati, Joe Cravella, Dan LaRocco, Luke Picciani, Bridget Kavanaugh. The Long Island Laugh-Off is going on. All sorts of cool stuff happening at Governor's Comedy Clubs. Go to govs.com and make yourself some great reservations. Make yourself some great reservations? Make a reservation to some great shows. How about that? So there you go. So it's Tuesday Trivia. We'll get to that in a little bit. Unfortunately, you're stuck with just me today. Sorry. Hugh Murray, not here today, but you can see him tonight. Hershey and the Keegs tonight at 9 o'clock on our YouTube channel. Before that at 7:30, Good Times, Bad Times with Joey Petroni returns tonight at 7:30. Cool stuff. Cool stuff. Cool stuff. All right. So, oh yeah, and don't forget we have another installment at the end of our show today for Don Sill. The countdown has begun. He is getting married a week from today. A week from today. So we wish Don and Wendy well. Every day this week we're going to play a video of someone special wishing Don and Wendy the best. Yesterday was Christy Miller, and I think I may have screwed it up when I played it. So I'm going to play that again today and then play the new one that we had scheduled for today. Right. So that'll be at the end of the show today. All right. So we hope everybody's well. It's a rainy Tuesday here on Long Island. I do believe it's supposed to clear up later. But right now it's rain. But who cares, because it's a Tuesday. Everybody's at work or at school anyway. We had a beautiful weekend, and that's all that matters. Yeah. So, all right. So what's cooking? I had a lot of stuff for Hugh today. Hugh just canceled maybe an hour ago. So I had a lot of stuff planned for him because, as you know, Hugh is a big union guy, as am I. Big union supporter, members of unions. So I had a lot of labor-related stuff to talk about today. Sorry. So that's what happens when it's just me. So, so the first thing I want to talk about was David Byrne. You guys remember David Byrne? He's the leader of the band, the Talking Heads, and he just had a show on Broadway. Well, David Byrne is locked in a contentious labor battle. Not just a labor battle, but a contentious one with Broadway's Musicians Union as he seeks to produce an unprecedented musical production without live music. Byrne's stance has surprised some. He's surprised people in, especially because New York, he wants to do a Broadway show. New York is a union-friendly city. Again, you have Broadway. He is known as an advocate for investment in the arts in New York City, and he lives in New York City. But it turns out Byrne has a history of seeking to avoid employing union members who typically command more generous pay and benefits than their non-union counterparts, because union workers are better trained. They know how to do the job right, safely, on time. I'm waiting for Jeff Bosey to chime in because I know how much he's a union supporter. During a 1986 press tour for True Stories, that was a movie he made with the Talking Heads back in 1986. David Byrne directed and co-wrote it. He was open about Texas's status as a right-to-work state, where labor unions are weaker, playing a role in his decision to film there. In right-to-work states, unions must represent all workers in a given shop, but are forbidden by law from requiring due payment from workers for the services they provide. So basically, yeah, anybody can work in a union shop in right-to-work states. Whether non-union members included. That system often undermines unions' ability to organize by encouraging workers to freeload, depriving unions of financial resources they need to go to the mat with employers. Right. You have to pay dues to be a member of the union because the unions fight for you. They spend a lot of resources making sure that you're trained right and everything is safe and you get the benefits that you deserve, such as medical care. When asked why he chose to film in Texas, David Byrne was candid about his preference for a state with weaker unions. So now he's trying to put together some new show on Broadway. It's a show called Here Lies Love. It's a show about Imelda Marcos. If you recall, she was the former First Lady of the Philippines. First off, Here Lies Love. Imelda Marcos. Like, when you see Imelda Marcos, do you think love? That woman was disgusting. And who wants to see a Broadway show about her? I don't know. This doesn't make sense to me. The American Federation of Musicians Local 802, which represents members of the orchestras in New York City's official Broadway theaters, has a collective bargaining agreement with the Broadway League, a group representing owners of theaters that host officially designated Broadway shows, requiring them to use live music performed by Local 802 members for their shows. If a Broadway production company wants to use a smaller number of musicians than the one agreed upon by the union for that theater, they must ask for a special situation exemption. That request is then assessed by a panel that includes neutral third parties along with industry and union representatives. Either the union or the producer can appeal that decision to a labor arbitrator whose ruling would be final. Vicky, I think shoes. I don't know what that means. Did I say shoes instead of shows? The union's agreement with the Broadway Theater, a larger venue where Byrne wants to stage the show, requires the use of 19 union musicians. The union has granted exemptions to his show. They've granted exemptions to producers for a smaller number of musicians in the past, but it is particularly angry about the effort to avoid using any musicians at all. The union is now going public with its objections after what it says have been failed efforts to quietly reach an accord with Byrne in private. This is a musician. This guy made his living. He's rich and famous and is a member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because he's a musician, because he played live in New York City. That's where the Talking Heads laid their roots, was in New York City. They were part of the punk scene in the late 70s. Imelda Marcos owned thousands of pairs of shoes. Oh, I don't know if I knew that. She was hard to look at. Yeah, I can say that because she's dead. This is a musician who made a living or made his mark, made it in the music industry because he played live with the Talking Heads throughout the 70s. And now he wants to use pre-recorded music and shut all these people out of a job. It boggles my mind, man. In 2022, actors in the limited-run Broadway show The Little Prince sang songs to recorded music on the grounds that the show was more of an acrobatic circus-type show. But Local 802 maintains that a genuine musical production without live music is without precedent in the local's history, which dates back to 1921. Damn straight. Hold your ground, 802. And yeah, it's a live show, so there should be live music with the live show. That's why it's called live. David Byrne. Tino Gagliardi, a longtime Broadway music trumpeter who's now president of Local 802, describes himself as a fan of Byrne's music and is proud that Byrne was once a member of the American Federation of Musicians. Star musicians who are currently union members include Bruce Springsteen and Taylor Swift. Byrne has claimed that he wants an exemption for Here Lies Love because the show's musical numbers involve karaoke. All right, so you do the one scene with the karaoke, or you just have the live music play. Because it involves karaoke. What? Oh, what? And you're going to tell me that karaoke is detrimental in this? Was Imelda Marcos like? Did she go out every Friday night to a karaoke bar? This doesn't make sense to me at all. Byrne used union musicians for his recent hit musical American Utopia. Yeah, it just played within the past few years. The show recouped its initial investment of $4 million in 2019 within 10 weeks of its first run. So you know the guy made a profit. The show ran for a couple of years. In fact, I don't know, is it still running? I don't even know. See, so are you going to tell me that David Byrne needs the money? I'm a fan of his music too. I like the Talking Heads quite a bit, but this pisses me off. David Byrne. Anybody know David Byrne? I'd love to get him in here so I can yell at him. Where would this guy be if it wasn't for playing live? And it says he was once a member of that union, right? Once a member of the American Federation of Musicians. What, so he's not anymore? What's that about? Guess what, David Byrne? Maybe we don't need to play Talking Heads music anymore. Son of a bitch bastard. Thank you, Bruce Springsteen, for being a part of the American Federation of Musicians. Thank you, Bruce. Thank you, Taylor Swift. I know a lot of people don't like Bruce's politics, blah, blah, blah. So what? He has just as much as a right to talk about his political beliefs as you do. Don't listen to it. Just play the music. He supports the working man. To me, that's the bottom line. Damn it. It riles me up. David Byrne, a multi-millionaire, world famous, I'm sure for a long time now, doesn't need to do anything. I'm sure he's doing just fine from Talking Heads music. But now he needs to get rid of working musicians. You know, working Broadway musicians, you know, they don't make the same kind of money that, you know, somebody of Byrne's stature makes. They need the steady work. We all need steady work. Speaking of Springsteen, did you guys? I wish I should have. I should have grabbed it and put it on here to show you guys. Did you guys see a few days ago? Bruce Springsteen fell on stage. He was like, you know, the stage has a few levels, so he was walking from one level to the other, and he tripped and fell. He was fine. I bring it up because it was funny. Anybody ever see, like, you ever have embarrassing moments like that? Where everybody's watching, and then you trip and fall? Or you just do something stupid? I saw Melissa Etheridge fall off a stage at Jones Beach. She was reaching down to shake people's hands. That, I did find that on YouTube once a few years back. I'll have to go back and look, see if it's still there. But that was like 1996 or something. Fell head first. I laughed. Oh, don't forget, June 22nd. That's a Thursday. Brandon Lacaruba doing his broken mic right here in the Giggle Room with Carla Okerson, Neil Rubenstein, and Carrie Karavis as the judges. So it's a broken mic. You go up there. It's like an open mic. You go up there and try out material, but Carla, Neil, and Carrie are the judges. So they're going to give you advice. They're going to roast you. They're going to throw rocks at you. And probably kidnap your mom. they're gonna critique you, and it's fun. I've done it. I've been there. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. That's going to be a fun night. So go to govs.com and get your reservations for that. Don't forget Chris Monty is playing McGuire's at the end of June. I forget the exact dates. Let me see real quick here. Let me see if I can find it. No, I can't find it real quick. All right. Damn it. I'm screwing everything up. All right, let me look. Govs.com. Let's see. Chris Monty. And Chris Monty will be in here as that show gets closer. June 23rd and 24th. All right, so you got the Broken Mic on the 22nd. Then the 23rd and 24th, head out to McGuire's. Lots of great stuff happening. Lots of great shows. Governors has the best shows, man. If you like comedy, man, then Governors is the place to go. Yeah, speaking of falling off stages, yes, my brother mentions Davy Jones. I've talked about that on here quite a bit. Yeah, the show was we were watching the show. This was like I think it was 1989, if I remember right. The venue has the theater is in the round, so the stage is right in the middle. It's in the round, and Davey was running backwards, so he wasn't really paying attention where he was going. Fell right off the stage. The whole place got all quiet. You heard a whole big collective "Ooh!" And I think the place holds 2,000, something like that. So you had 1,999 people go, woo! And you had one guy going, ha, ha, laughing his ass off. And it lasted probably about 3 days. It was the funniest thing I've ever seen. I laughed so hard. Yeah. So I'm going to stick with the labor theme for a few minutes. We're going to get to Tuesday Trivia. We have a few things to talk about. Did you know that some companies, and again, this is what makes me mad, that we hurt the working man so bad, or working man or woman, or the working they. Did you know some companies are now charging their employees to use the microwave that's in their break room? One company has a $2 per use rate, or you can just pay a flat fee of $30 a month for unlimited use. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Remember when medical benefits were just automatic, like part of the package you got at your job? It's been, 25 years, I guess, since that changed? So, but they took that away. Most jobs don't have pensions anymore. And now we're going to start charging you for your microwave use. I'd love to know how they're doing that, too. Do they actually pay somebody to stand there all day and collect the money? Or does it sit behind the boss's desk until he gets the $2 and then he'll hand it to you? What the... Still sticking with the labor union theme. We'll get to Tuesday Trivia soon. Feel free to call in. I took Jay and Dan's advice yesterday and promoted today as the day that DJ D Love calls in. And he hasn't called. The one time, I'm actually, I shouldn't say okay with him calling in, but the one time I'm letting it go. The one time I have time to kill because I'm here doing the show by myself, and he doesn't call. So, where was it? I had more about the unions and working, and so Seattle. Be careful what you wish for. Yes, I hear you, Vicky. You're absolutely right. I'm not going to mention it again. Seattle will provide paid sick and safe leave for most gig workers under a new law, becoming the first city to guarantee such benefits on a permanent basis for app-based employees. Did I share this already with you guys? I think I have, actually. Workers who perform tasks for companies like Instacart, Postmates, and DoorDash will accrue a day of paid sick leave for every 30 days that they do work in Seattle. While on leave, workers will receive pay based on their average daily compensation. The new law expands the type of workers covered from food delivery employees to those working for a slew of apps covering a range of on-demand tasks. Gig workers who set their own pay will not be covered. Workers protected by the law will be allowed to take time off to care for their own health or that of a loved one, go to a doctor's appointment, or pick up a child in the event of a school closure, among other activities, the mayor's office said. I think that's great. I do think we're, in the middle of a transition where things like working for apps, working for things like DoorDash, I do think that's going to become like a more normal and acceptable thing. Not that it's unacceptable now, but it's not considered, for lack of a better word, it's not fully acceptable. like it's not looked at as something people would make a career out of or try to make a full-time job. But I do think that's changing. That's just my personal belief. And I think all workers, if you're working, I don't care if it's delivering DoorDash, driving a truck, working a jackhammer, whatever it is, you're working, you deserve bennies, man. We all deserve the bennies. We're all trying to make ends meet. We're all doing our share. If you're a taxpayer who's working, that's what the taxes go for. That's why we pay taxes, so we can get things like benefits and get taken care of. Because we're working hard and we deserve it. All of us. We all deserve it. So that's a good thing. Thank you, Seattle. But now here's a bad thing. Back on April 18th, what state was this? It says the state's Senate. What state? Approved the bill to allow children as young as 14 to work night shifts and 15-year-olds on assembly lines. Oh, this was in Iowa. The measure, which still must pass the Iowa House, is among several the Foundation for Government Accountability is maneuvering through the state legislators. In March, there was an Arkansas law to eliminate work permits and age verification for workers younger than 16. Minnesota and Ohio have introduced proposals this year allowing teens to work more hours or in more dangerous occupations, such as construction. A bill in Georgia would prohibit the state government from requiring a minor to obtain a work permit. Congress in 1938 passed the Fair Labor Standards Act to stop companies from using cheap child labor to do dangerous work, a practice that exploded during the Great Depression. But today, those rules, which restrict the hours and types of work that can be performed by minors, are not strictly enforced, and the issue has become more polarizing since the pandemic, which was when a labor shortage created a huge need for workers and a large number of undocumented minors entered the United States looking for work. Let them work keeps them out of trouble. I agree with that, but I do have an issue with increasing workload and work hours and overnight shifts for minors. I let them. I don't know. See, we're going to do stuff like this, but we'll take away stuff like delivering newspapers. Like, maybe they should be doing DoorDash. Let them do DoorDash. Let them take their bike, to a restaurant, collect the money, collect the food, and then go deliver it. The Labor Department has seen a 69% increase in minors employed in violation of federal law since 2018. That's only 5 years. Between 2018 and 2022, federal regulators opened cases for over 4,000 child labor violations, covering over 15,000 youth workers. Wow. That's a big number. Child welfare advocates and some business leaders said the new legislation could endanger children on the job and entice others to leave school to join the workforce. Exactly. That, to me, is a problem. They need their education so that they can move on to bigger and better things, not working more. Sure, let them work, let them learn responsibility, let them learn about money, let them work. It helps even socialization. How old are we talking? It doesn't say, but like I said, I don't know, Don, if you heard in the beginning, Iowa allowed a bill for children as young as 14 to work night shifts. I disagree with that. And they're allowing 15-year-olds on assembly lines. You know, the 15-year-olds on assembly lines, I can probably go back and forth with you on, and I could probably be swayed. I mean, I started working in a lumberyard at 15. Yeah, I was 15 when I started working in a lumberyard. Not exactly the same thing as an assembly line, but hard work, dangerous at times, depending on what I was doing. But, well, it doesn't say whether it's night shifts or overnight. It just says work night shifts, but I took that as overnight. Night shifts, yeah, not so bad. If they're working, I would say if it's past, as long as it's up until 11 o'clock, I think I'd be okay with that. A 14-year-old to work night, like an overnight shift, no. I'm not even really crazy about it going to 11. Put them to work, says Jay. We are raising pussies and laziness. Working early installed a hard work ethic in me. I couldn't agree more, pal. I started working at the age of 12 when I got my first paper route. Once I kind of got the swing of it, I took on more routes. I helped the route managers every Saturday, helping them with routes that didn't have anybody. I would spend all day from 8 to 3 just delivering papers. I bought my first computer in 1985. No, actually earlier than that. I bought a computer in 83 or 84 with paper route money. I bought a TV with paper route money. It definitely installs a good work ethic when you're young. And I took on more routes as time went on. And I was doing all right for, a kid around, 13, 14. And then took a job at the lumberyard when I was 15. And that's how I got the job at the lumberyard, because I delivered the newspaper there. That's how I met Sally. I was delivering newspapers to a restaurant she worked in. That's how I met her when I was, I think, 13. And then even while working at the lumberyard, when I was a senior in high school, I had 3 jobs. I had the lumberyard. I worked at Sears. I delivered Penny Saver for a while. And then I was also taking pictures for the local Hicksville paper. I didn't do all those at once, but various times. But at one point, I had 3 jobs after school. But I am going to tell you, yes, it installed a good work ethic in me, and I worked hard, and I've worked hard my whole life. I'm working harder now in this freaking place than I think I've ever worked. But I will tell you, working all that much in high school, plus I did, school plays. I worked on the yearbook. I was involved a little bit at school. But I will tell you, I am in favor of education first. My grades were not very good. I was average. I was average. Below average at times, depending how much I cared. And yeah, I learned a good work ethic. I learned to save some money. But again, I looking back, I definitely would have gotten more involved in school. I would have done it differently. I would have worked less and gotten. I would have done better in school. But so I'm all for the kids working, but night shifts, increased hours, dangerous environment. No, I'm not. I'm not in favor of that. They should learn how to work and work hard, but there should be limitations on it. They are still kids, and school should come first. I think that we need to keep these kids grounded. Too easy to get into trouble these days. Well, yeah. So fine. Whether it's a job or just being after school programs, I agree 100%. Yeah. Working early. The kids are useless these days, says Jay. I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't say they're useless. They definitely don't have the same work ethic we did. I definitely agree with that. Don, after your honeymoon, I want an interview by you. I want Friday posts. What does that mean, Jay? I want Friday posts. And you haven't been interviewed by Don yet? You haven't done a Donversations yet? Damn, Jay. Don invited me to do one. And Don wanted to do it this week and get it done quickly in time so he can get our Donversations posted. But he's busy with the wedding, so I told him no. I actually said, no, Don. I laid the hammer down. It's no. You get to work on that wedding. You please, Wendy. Just like that's exactly how it went. But you did ask me, Don, so I do expect after your honeymoon, I want to be on Donversations. I love Donversations. I love Don. Music to my ears, Jay. Let's do this. Vicky, congratulations on your upcoming nuptials to Don. Thanks so much. Good times. The sense of entitlement is beyond belief. Do you... Oh, thanks, pal. Thanks, Don. Don says he loves me, too. It's a Don. It's a love fest with Don. Don, I don't know if you were watching the beginning, but, yeah, I announced that at the end of the show today, I'm going to replay yesterday's video, wishing you well, and then immediately after that, I'm going to play today's video. We're going to have a video every day this week from some people wishing Don and Wendy well. And I think with every day, I'll play the previous ones. So I'll play them over and over. So the sense of entitlement is beyond belief. Do you guys think that's the case with every kid? Or the majority of kids? Like, what are you thinking there? I see it. I see it in the kids too. You know what I see more though than the entitlement? I see the lack of respect. And I remember, who was it? Was it my mother? I remember when my kids were little. My kids are in their early 20s now. But I remember when they were little and they watched shows like iCarly. That show was so disrespectful to the adults. The show was funny. My kids loved it. I thought there was some funny stuff going on. I thought the cast was very good. But every adult, like their parents, especially the principal, at their school, like they treated the grown-ups with such a lack of respect. I mean, made fun of them, called them names, treated them like idiots. And I personally believe that's where, it's stuff like that where it kind of started for this generation. They're at a young age seeing things like that, and they just didn't learn respect. The shows we watched as kids, you could say they were cornier. They weren't as funny. They weren't as good. Probably. But they didn't disrespect the elders. Think of all the shows we watched as kids, Different Strokes. They didn't disrespect their father. Facts of Life, they had the one authority figure, Mrs. Garrett. Even the Monkees had an authority figure. They were supposed to be like this rebellious, rock and roll band. And they had their landlord downstairs who showed up once in a while. So I don't know. I think that's the bigger problem myself. It's just the lack of respect. I don't know. Maybe the entitlement. Maybe that's almost the same thing. I don't know. But so I'm not a fan of. There should be limits. There should be child labor laws. It bothers me that some of these laws are losing its grip. Yeah. I think, a kid as young as 14 to 15 should work up until 11 o'clock, the very latest. But even that, they have school the next day. You ever look at the school bus these days? Because school is so much more than it was when we were kids. Most schools have 9 periods. It used to be 8 when I was a kid. And some of these kids don't even get a lunch period anymore, You ever look at a school bus? In the afternoon coming home, first off, there's nobody on the bus because lots of kids are involved in school, after-school activities, which is great. But you look at them in the morning, they're dead. When we were kids, we would get on that bus. We were energetic. We were crazy. We were hopping around. You look at them now, and they're all against the window because they're at school or work, until probably 8 or 9ish. Then they have homework. They have the extra after school extracurricular activities that they have to work on. I mean, these kids are shot. I agree with keeping them off the streets 100%, but I do feel we've put too much on them. There he is. Good morning, Jeff Bosey. Bosey, you missed it. We've been talking all sorts of union stuff and labor stuff. Lots of stuff. All sorts of stuff. I was waiting for you. I waited for you as long as I could. All right. So, and now I'm getting off it, as a matter of fact. I'm moving on from the labor stuff. But I am going to talk about, though, what kind of jobs did you guys have as kids? What kind of jobs did you have as kids? Like I said, I worked all sorts of jobs. Lumberyard, probably the longest job I had. I worked at Publishers Clearinghouse for a while, for a few years. And I will tell you, those contests were on the up and up. I remember hearing rumors all the time, oh, they're rigged and this and that. But no, they're on the up and up. I loved working there. I had a great time. I drove a truck, and I worked in a warehouse. It was fun. We had a lot of good times in there. What kind of jobs did you guys have? Because I was looking, if I could find it. There was a list of bad jobs that people have worked. Oh, what did I do with it? Ah, poopy. Did I get rid of it? Let's see. Don't forget, while I'm looking for this thing, don't forget, June 16th, Mike Keegan and friends with our very own Jeff Bosey. That's right here at Governor's in the Giggle Room. Let's see, I think I might have gotten rid of it. Damn it. Yeah, I don't see it. Damn it. All right. Don worked at a carpet store where he ate most of the carpet. Bosey, he was a mechanic, then a laundromat attendant. What? A laundromat attendant? What, you mean like making change for their dollar bills and selling the detergent and stuff? Vicky worked at a bakery through school. What bakery? And did you actually have to bake? Or did you just sell the cakes and put on the happy birthday thing? Bosey, is that and also repairing... Oh, so you did all that. You sold the detergent and stuff and repaired the machines when they broke down. Oh, wow. I don't know anything about washers and dryers. Is there a lot to know? You're very... Bosey's very handy. Who would think that Bosey was so manly? Not me. So we're gonna. What else? So like I said, yeah, I had several newspaper routes. I delivered the penny. Well, that was also a newspaper route. Those of you that remember the Penny Saver. I took pictures for our local newspaper for a short time. I worked at Sears for a very short time as well. I worked at a lumberyard for a long time. I feel like I'm missing something. Publishers Clearinghouse. Oh, I worked at my uncle's. This is something. This was a mistake on or maybe a mistake on my part. My uncle owned a glass company, where they would go and fix and replace glass and screens. I think I worked there for a week or two. I quit the lumberyard, went to work for my uncle's glass shop. This was 1988, and I think minimum wage was $4 or $5 at the time. So the lumberyard offered me $7.50 an hour to come back. And at the time, I was stupid. Well, I'm still stupid, but stupider. I was 18. I was like, oh, my God, $7.50 an hour. So I called my uncle. I said, I'm sorry, I can't do it. And I went back to the lumberyard. So stupid. A glass, working at a lumberyard, it was hard work, honest work, fun at times, but not fun a lot of the time. And there's no future there. A gas A glass company, I mean, I guess there is some kind of future at a lumberyard. I mean, people still need to build. But, at the very most, what are you going to do? Just take people's orders? Like, it wasn't really anything special. But a glass company, in my opinion, was even more of job stability. You could, that's one thing that hasn't changed. You've had technology replace certain things, and glass still need glass. People still have car accidents. Glass still breaks. Screens still rip. That I would think that business just thrives. Throughout. Plus, my uncle, he owned it, and he has two sons. My two cousins, and they didn't take Daddy's business when they were growing up. So I never had this discussion with him, but I would think that, with me working there, that's something maybe I would have bought from him or inherited from him, or, at least there could have been some kind of easy transition from one to the other. He did end up selling it, and then it closed down. Sure. No, actually, I take that back. He didn't sell it. They closed it up, if I remember right. I forget. If you're watching, you remember. And I mean, having said that, I don't know if I would have wanted a career in glass, and I was awful at it. I mean, the 2 weeks I worked there, I cut my hands up constantly because I'm a klutz. But I would have preferred, to have done that than the career choice that I did make at the time, working for the phone company. So if I had to do it all again, I wouldn't do either. Actually, I would, try to make it in the acting world, but yeah, I just feel that was an opportunity that was right there in my lap, and I blew that. But let's see, Bosie's a man's man in more ways than one, says Don Sill. Yeah, I heard Bosie's going to be the stripper at your bachelor party. Vicky, the bakery in Plainview, I did scribe on cakes. Was that the name of it? The bakery? It's an original name. Or are you just saying the bakery in Plainview, like there's only one and we should all know it? Bosie, I did newspaper delivery for a year. Why wasn't it funny you got to play with your wit all the time? Hardy har har. What? Oh, wood. Oh, why isn't it funny that you got to play with your wood all the time? Hardy har har. The lumberyard was not an easy place for a young kid like myself to work. There were it was all older people, a lot of people in the lumberyard itself who, didn't last long for various reasons, and a lot of weird stuff that went on behind the scenes that I would have preferred to go without. Oh, okay, so my mother says there was a guy that worked there for a long time who took it over for a little while, then closed. Yeah, I don't think it was very long at all, if I remember right, Ma. But I still think it only closed because nobody wanted it. I think, there's certain jobs that have stability and job security, man, and I think that's one of them. But there was, and speaking of jobs and money, I was looking at an article. We're going to get to Tuesday Trivia in a few minutes. So the old men touched your wood. No, there was nothing like that. Actually, I take that back. Nothing happened to me, but a lot of the coworkers were doing it. It was almost on a daily basis, another story would come out. Oh, yeah, that one hooked up with that one, and this one did this one, and this happened. But I'm talking about drugs. There's a lot of drugs floating through the place, and a lot of the people that worked there were just guys who were high and drunk all the time, and there was a constant overflow, not overflow. There was a constant turning over of people because it was just it was just a stop for people who just couldn't really just do much better. There were some great people there who took their job seriously, and like the managers and some of the salesmen and even the guy that ran the lumberyard. He was, but even actually he had some drug problems too. But There's still a couple of guys who I still talk to this day from there. My manager was a great guy. He took me under his wing. I was a teenager with no direction, and this guy was very good to me. In fact, he just passed away. I just found out like a month ago that he passed away in December. I kept in touch with him for a while. The last time I saw him was probably about a month after my son was born. And I tried to stay in touch with him a little bit on Facebook. And it was one of those things like, hey, let's go to a ball game one day. And it just never happened. Let's get together for lunch. And we just never do it. And then sure enough, he passed away. So, all right, so that's that story. So I was, all right. Not the call we were expecting. How many old men touched your wood?
Oh, the number keeps climbing and climbing.
Good answer. Good answer.
Yeah, I can't. I'm driving. I can't do the speech to text or whatever it is. For some reason on my phone, if I say a sentence, it turns me into an immigrant, and it puts the word "is" in front of it every time.
Oh.
So that's why I sound like, look, Mosey doesn't know how to type. He did not pass the 4th grade. Look at him go.
Well, my point exactly. People working too much instead of staying in school.
No. Yeah, I know. It was weird to find out that, like, I do all these things. It's like, the list is unfathomable. He was a mechanic, a laundromat attendant, a newspaper delivery, a scale technician, a landscaper. I did landscaping for about a year also. Yeah, I did a lot of things.
That's hard work, man.
Yeah, I know. They all nicknamed me Tomate because I didn't put any sunscreen.
Is being a washer dryer mechanic, that I'm assuming that's a career for some people, right?
It would be a career, and it was a nice way of the owner of the place not having to hire a person because I was able to do these things and keep me at there you go, $10 an hour. You know?
Right,
so
right. You didn't get paid extra for doing the work of two people.
No, not at all.
And you're right. That's the type of stuff that pisses me off.
So, but yeah, no, I mean, it was. I don't know. Is it hard? I don't know. I guess maybe for someone else, but for me, it's just it came natural just to repair, to replace some of the actuators that turned on when it went from to turn the drum on for the washer, then to turn on the thing to let the water in, then the dryers, you would switch the gears or something in case they had little plastic gears to spin the drum. So you would that was a crack. I would replace those. I would clean the dryers. Cleaning the dryers at a laundromat. It is the most lucrative portion of the job.
Really?
Yes. Well, back then it was. I don't know how chintzy people are today, but I would find jewelry, money, nonstop because people would never empty out their pockets.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it was like there was one time I felt bad, but no one ever came in. One time in the bottom of the dryer, $600.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, $6 $100 bills.
So what'd you do with that money?
Well, we went to the strip club.
Nice. Good answer.
I mean, listen, hey, Coco and Stardust, they need to go to college.
Absolutely right. Again, hardworking people, and I do see a theme here with you. And you're talking about cleaning out your dryer and working with a crack, and keeping gears wet. There's definitely a running theme that you've definitely honed a career yourself your whole life there.
Playing with my crack, keeping it wet.
Yeah, exactly.
and that brings us back to all the men playing with my wood.
Which brings us back to Don Sill's wedding, which you'll be stripping for his bachelor party.
Oh, I can't wait. I made there was a video that I made, and I thought to myself, I can't send this. I couldn't send it. I wanted to make a little there was a request for a video for him.
Yeah.
And I wanted to send something, but I was like, I don't think anyone wants to see my pale, pasty body and my 2 little pink nipples.
Oh, you took off your shirt in this video?
Oh yeah, I did. And I'm like, no, I can't send this. I can't. Because then I started masturbating.
Yeah, that's, oh boy. I wanted so bad to say just send it. We'll be the judge of that, but I'm having a hard time, giving it that
You
green
want to know
light.
what? You want to know what? How about this? I'll send you 2 videos. One you keep and for your own private collection, and then the other you send to Don.
All right. I'll do that.
Awesome. Other than that, where's you?
I don't know. I talked about it at the top of the show. He didn't show up. He didn't even show up for his own show last Thursday, but then I heard he was okay. And then,
good.
And then this morning, about an hour before showtime, he contacted me and said he couldn't come in. He didn't go into specifics, but he said he will definitely be here tonight for Hershey and the Keegs. So I just hope he's okay.
All right.
Yep.
Well, listen. I mean, when you get ladies in your life, or for me, men, but when you get these other significant others in your life, they soak up a lot of your time, and then you're so busy that you don't want to do anything.
Except them.
Except them, yes. All the time, because they're wet and hard and wet. Okay, I'm thinking about your lumberyard. So what was it? Was there an upsale in Bookends? That there was drug transfer going on back then?
I don't know what it was, but I mean, again, it wasn't. Most of these guys working in a lumberyard didn't. There wasn't a career. You don't make a career out of throwing plywood on the roof of somebody's car. So these guys were just. It was just a constant turnover of guys who were just. It was basically just taking any old job so they can support their habits.
I was thinking that you had some sort of drug ring going on, and then they would drill holes, hide drugs in it, put a little cork on it, and go, "Here's your bookend, Mr. Dufresne."
Mr. Dufresne, that's funny. There actually was some stuff like that going on as well. There was actually, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was interesting. Yep, and New York Girl even says it was the '80s, which that shit was everywhere, man.
Yeah, but why put it in the bookend? But now did Mr. DJ Love call in already?
Did what happen?
Did DJ D Love? I forgot his real name.
Oh no, he did not call. Jay and Dan were on the show yesterday, and they told me because DJ called and I didn't take it, and I said all right, call in tomorrow. So then Dan and Jay said, oh, you should promote the show, with the picture of DJ D Love and say, hey everybody, DJ D Love is calling in today. So I did that, but I did it as a joke, but.
And now he's not calling in.
And yeah, he's not calling in. I don't see his name watching. So
he had a red carpet moment.
Yes.
And he threw it all away.
Yes, he did.
You want to know what? Because you promoted him today to call in. Now I think that's just ixnay on him ever having to come in.
Yes, I think you're on to something there. I should promote him calling in every day if this is how it turns out. and I'm not taking his call on Thursday. I got 2 guests coming here on Thursday, so I'm not taking his call then either. So.
Oh, well, I can't wait to find out later in the show who those 2 guests will be.
Oh, I'll tell you right now if you want.
Oh, sure.
It is Allison Chadwick and Kristen Danko.
Okay. Well, enjoy those 2 guests.
Thank you.
And have a ball. Or some wood.
Yes, that's more like it. Yeah.
But other than that, I'm going to get back to doing what I do, which is a whole lot of nothing, and send you meaningless texts that make no sense, where I try to be funny. And I'll talk to you later, buddy.
Sounds good. Enjoy your day at work.
Talk to you then.
See ya. There it is. Jeff Bosey checking in. Very nice. Very nice. All right. One thing I wanted to do, and then we'll get to Tuesday trivia, because we're talking about work and money and all that stuff. So going with that theme, I want to talk about, I saw this list of people that have too much money. Sorry, I got a frog in my throat all of a sudden. I started while I was talking to Jeff. I usually get something else in my throat when I'm with Jeff. Yeah, people that just have too much money. We're all, struggling. David Byrne is trying to cut out musicians from performing in his musical, which just doesn't make sense to me. We're all just struggling to make a buck and survive, especially on this expensive island we live on. And now here's a list of people with too much money. Paris Hilton once spent $325,000 on a mansion for her dogs. A mansion for her dogs to live in. $325,000. You could buy yourself a small house on Long Island for that. Celine Dion spent $2 million on a humidifier. These are all true stories, folks. Kendall Jenner bought a couch, which is fine. We all buy couches. We need to sit comfortably. But she spent $52,000 on a couch. $52,000. That's how much I was making when I bought my very first house almost 30 years ago. Actually, I take that back. That was household income. Me and my first wife. We were making $55,000 a year between the two of us, and we bought our first house. But this asshole can buy a couch for the money we made in a year. Ashton Kutcher paid $200,000 for a ticket to space. Yeah, that's the one that makes me nuts. These guys building these rockets and, flying into space and back. Is there a bigger waste of money? Is there a bigger way to just show off how much money you have? It's crazy. Justin Bieber spent $100,000 to convert his Cadillac CTVS, a Cadillac, into a Batmobile. $100,000 so he can drive a Batmobile. Victoria Beckham got a gold-plated iPhone case worth $33,000. An iPhone case. I hope she dropped it the next day and it all smashed. Lady Gaga spent $50,000 on a ghost detector. Anybody know anything about that? Because I would love to get more information on that. I'm going to have to look into that story more. I'd love to find out what they found with their ghost detector. Kim Kardashian and Kanye West spent $750,000 on gold-plated toilets. Toilets. They're taking a shit on something worth $750,000. Mike Tyson bought a gold bathtub for $2.2 million. $2.2 million on a bathtub. If that doesn't make you nuts, well, I'm not going to badmouth Mike Tyson because I don't want him to beat me up. Although that would go viral. All right, screw it. Mike, come beat me up. You're a jerk for spending $2.2 mil. Celine Dion says, Vicky, buying the humidifier is reasonable due to protection of her voice. Are you saying that a humidifier that the rest of us buy is not good enough? Doesn't protect her voice like this one we're talking about? And I'm not challenging you or disagreeing. I'm seriously asking. Bosie, don't forget when they do their music, it's all about the children and the homeless. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They're all for their charities as long as as long as they'll talk about these charities, but they won't. I shouldn't. I try to be careful with this stuff because a lot of these guys are charitable. You just don't hear about it. I've talked about it before on here. Joey Cola once told me that Rosie O'Donnell is the most charitable person he's ever known and one of the greatest people he's ever known. I think the public persona a lot of these people have is not who they are. Do I, think that Rosie, she definitely looks like she can be a bitch. I'm not denying that, but what do I know? I've never been in the same room with this woman. Who am I to talk? So I hate that they spend so much money on this kind of thing, but I'd like to think they all have donated a ton of money to charities as well. Rosie O'Donnell's not spending $33,000 on a gold-plated phone case. Well, that's what I mean. Believe me, I'm not saying because if Victoria Beckham spent $50,000 if she gave $50,000 to a charity, that still in my mind doesn't justify buying a $33,000 or whatever it was, $33,000 iPhone case. No, that tells me you could have used another $33,000 to give to that charity. Vicky, I'm thinking that her voice is a big deal and her job, so anything to protect that asset. No, that's not what I asked. And I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm asking what did she spend on it? $2 million on a humidifier. First off, this doesn't say she bought it to protect her voice. So I don't know if you know that for a fact or not. But my question is a $2 million humidifier, is that going to protect her voice more than a $100 humidifier? Again, this is an honest, serious question. I don't know anything about her or humidifiers for that case, for that matter. I'm pretty sure, says Bosie, between the humidifier, Mr. Beckham's love juice, I'm pretty sure her voice is still well protected. Well, you're talking about two different people. Vicky's talking about Celine Dion. Celine Dion spent $2 million on a humidifier. Beckham's wife spent $33,000 for a gold-plated iPhone case. So you guys are talking about two different people. All right. It's a little after 12. I think it's time to get to the Tuesday trivia. As soon as I find it. Where the hell did it go? If I forgot it, you're going to see Mad Tony. I had it. Uh-oh. Did I really forget the trivia list? Oh, boy. Where the hell is it? I would swear I had it. Holy crap. Oh, my goodness. Well, we might be ending the show early. That's not it. That's not it. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I did throw out some papers before I started the show. I may have to go check the garbage quick. Yeah, where is Fremder today? Should not have booked the trivia too. What? What does that mean? Should not have booked the trivia too. Oh my goodness, I can't find today's Tuesday trivia. I'm going to have to go check the garbage. Oh! Found it. Found it. I knew I had it. Whew. 5 minutes to Wapner. Yeah, I don't know where Fremder is today. All right. Tuesday trivia time. Please throw your answers in the comment thread. No theme, no nothing. Some of these questions were put together with Hugh in mind. Not you, Hugh. But Hugh's not here, but I'm going to ask the questions anyway. Andy knows them all. So Andy hates when I do that. So, I'm going to ask him. Okay. What sport is the winner of the Harry Vardon Trophy playing? So what sport are you playing if you win the Harry Vardon Trophy? Throw your answers in the comment thread. After I ask all the questions, I will go back and ask them again, read your answers, and give you the real answer. I do not give the answers now. Maybe if you guys are nice to me, if anybody wants some free passes to a governor's show this weekend, let's see how you do in the Tuesday trivia. All right. What sport are you playing if you win the Harry Vardon Trophy? Next question. Another sports question. Who is younger, Serena or Venus Williams? Who is younger, Serena or Venus Williams? Tennis superstars. Who is younger, Serena or Venus Williams? All right. Next question. David Kotkin or David Kotkin? I'm going to go with Kotkin. David Kotkin, Kotkin. Kotkin. David Kotkin. I'm just going to sit here and just repeat Kotkin over and over. David Kotkin is better known as David Lee Roth, David Letterman, or David Copperfield. Kotkin. I bet you Kotkin. David Kotkin is better known as who? David Lee Roth, David Letterman, or David Copperfield? Next question. All right. The person who comes closest without going over gets credit for this question. In all, how many Peanuts comic strips were published? Charlie Brown and Snoopy and Linus and Lucy, all the gang. How many Peanuts comic strips were published? I believe Charles Schultz was doing Peanuts comic. It was at least 50 years. That's a long freaking time. I once tried to get a comic strip off the ground. I can draw cartoons. In fact, the guy I was talking about before at the lumberyard, my boss who died a few months ago, I had a comic strip based on him. It was just called Bob. Bob. I should look to see if I still have those. I was like, man. So yeah, the closest who gets the answer right without going over will get credit for a correct answer. How many Peanuts comic strips were published? All right, next question. I don't know how to pronounce this word. Sourj. Sourj? Sourj? Well, it's an Armenian word, and what does it mean? Does it mean coffee, sour cream, or raw beef? Coffee, sour cream, or raw beef? Sourj. Sourj? Sarge? Sorge? Sooj? Does it mean coffee, sour cream, or raw beef? The phone is ringing. May as well. Pause the Tuesday trivia. Hello?
Hello, how you doing?
Doing all right. How are you?
This is the movie theater, you know, right?
This is the movie theater?
That's right.
A movie theater talks? Or is this...
That's right.
Or are you the manager of the movie theater?
No, I'm the movie theater, you know what I'm saying?
Now, who is that laughing in the background?
I don't know who that is. That's a crazy person.
Well, you shouldn't have crazy people in your theater. You should throw that person out.
Yeah, we're this party, you know what I'm saying? We're at the movie theater, that's party, you know.
Right.
Yeah, we're at the movie theater, party, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, there's a party in the movie theater.
Yeah, look, you know, come over to join us and have a good time with us.
All right, where is this movie theater that I can come down to the party?
I can't tell you. I was a single number location.
Well, then how am I going to go to the party if you don't tell me where it is?
Okay, so I'm going to Ronkonkoma, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that was easy. All right, Ronkonkoma. Everybody watching, head over to the Ronkonkoma movie theater for the party.
We're going to join this nice party, you know what I'm saying? We're going to watch Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid? What kind of party is that? I want nudity and drugs.
Well, guess what, you stupidito?
What'd you call me?
Stupidito.
Stupidito?
Yeah, guess what?
What?
I'll always get you, Tony.
Here I am thinking it was a movie theater. DJ D-Love. Are you going to the movies today? Is that what's going on here?
Yeah, that's right. I am going to move that every week.
Are you really going to see The Little Mermaid?
Yep.
What is going on? Why would you... How old are you? 2? Come on.
No, it's a movie there, Tony.
Go see a good movie.
It is a good movie, I heard.
All right. Well, if that's what you want to see, knock yourself out.
So what time you been, brother? What's going on with you, Tony?
Nothing. We're just hanging out here doing our thing.
I know. When can I come back again, man? It's been a long time.
It has been a long time. Yeah, sooner or later. Yeah, we'll figure something out. You got a rap for us?
Yeah, I'm going to rap for you guys.
Go ahead.
Yo, GJ, love is the place to be. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to see Little Mermaid come through. But guess what? The movie starts at 11:30, so see you guys later, suckers.
Oh, yeah. Enjoy your movie, pal.
Guess what? I got one more thing to say.
Go ahead.
One more thing to say.
Yep.
See you, homies.
See you, homies. There you go. He's out. Good. Okay, there you go. As promised, as we promoted, DJ D-Love called. There you go, everybody. Thank goodness. I didn't want to false advertise. Bad enough you didn't make it. I didn't want to not have DJ here, too. Go see The Little Mermaid with DJ D-Love. See you. Vicky's like, see you, homies. Go. I was completely fooled. The movie theater calling because you haven't rewound any of the movies ever. That's fantastic. Yes, I like Hugh and DJ and trivia, yes. Should have never found the trivia. We would have lucked out with the call. Yeah, I would have kept them on for longer if I didn't have trivia. All right, where were we? Sourge. We did Sourge. All right, next question. What does an algophile love? A-L-G-O file. P-H-I-L-E. Algophile. What does an algophile love? Algebra, rhythms, or pain? Algebra, rhythm, or pain? What does an algophile love? Algebra, rhythms, or pain? Next question. What do you call a fake noodle? What do you call a fake noodle? Next question. What period of American history saw the development and use of automobiles, telephones, motion pictures, radio, and electrical appliances? What period of American history saw the development and use of automobiles, telephones, motion pictures, radio, and electrical appliances? All right, next question. Pop songs. You know, boy bands. You know, Britney Spears, that type of pop songs. What is the first word? I'll start that again. What is the first word heard on most pop song titles? What is the first word of most pop song titles? Regarding to that question, American history, so the development of automobiles and all that, electrical appliances, give me like a decade, or like give me years, whether it's a decade or a certain year to another year. Give me like a time frame. I'm not looking for what you guys are saying. So give me. We're talking about years or a certain, decade. All right, last question. This one's a little involved. Whether you're gay, straight, or bi, name the top 10 sexual positions for everyone. Not just straight people or not just gay people, for everybody. The top 10 sex positions for everyone. I'll give you guys a minute because I'm looking for 10 positions. So you guys will have to type for a few minutes. And Bochy's just going to list them one by one and hit send. Excuse me. I'm going to give you guys a minute to finish typing. Don't forget to send us a photo, a screenshot of you sharing a link to any show here at Gov's Comedy Club Podcast, and you could get yourself free passes for free admission to a Governor's Comedy Club show for you and a guest. All right, I'm just gonna gonna scroll up and find your answers, and we're gonna start with the answers. All right, question number 1: what sport are you playing if you win the Harry Vardon Trophy? Vicky said badminton. Andy said golf. Jeff said volleyball. Andy is right. Shocker. It is golf. Who is younger, Serena or Venus Williams? Andy, Vicky, and Jeff all got it right. It is Serena. David Kotkin, better known as who? David Lee Roth, David Letterman, or David Copperfield? Vicky said Roth. Andy said Copperfield. Bosie said Copperfield. It is Copperfield. Andy is 3 for 3 so far, ladies and gentlemen. 3 for 3. Oh, that's funny. All right, yeah. So how many Peanuts comic strips were published? Andy says 52 times 50. It's funny you say that, though, because I don't think that's the answer I have. Yeah, that's not the answer I have. So I don't know if they were bonus strips somewhere or... that's interesting, Andy, that you would do that, because that's not the answer I have at all. Weren't some papers like twice a day at one point, or just because they were published doesn't, like, maybe different strips were published in different places? Yeah, I don't know. So, no, so, yeah, 2,500 says Andy. That's not the answer I have. Jeff says 1,600, which is not the answer I have. Vicky says 2,750, not the answer I have either. But Vicky, all three of you are way off. But Vicky comes the closest without going over, so Vicky gets the credit. 17,897 strips. So, yeah, they could have been in different publications. Like, you got your daily newspapers, but then maybe a magazine put them, had them also. I don't know. Sourge is Armenian for what? Coffee, sour cream, or raw beef? Vicky said beef. Of course she did. Andy got to go with the meat. Sorry. Yes, Andy always goes for the meat. And, of course, Bosie says he loves meat. Yeah. So you're all wrong. All right, so Andy's got one wrong so far. The answer is coffee. Sourge means coffee in Armenia, in case anybody was wondering. Okay, so let's see. I got to get past all the DJ D-Love comments. Okay. What does an algophile love? I don't know if I'm even saying that right. Is it algophile? I'm going with algophile. An algophile loves algebra, rhythms, or pain. Jeff says pain in the rear. Andy says I predict pain. Vicky says pain. The three of you are correct. It is pain. Algophiles love pain. What do you call a fake noodle? Vicky says a zoodle. Andy said this is a problem. It's foodle. Jeff says a strap-on. What do you call a fake noodle? I'll tell you what you call a fake noodle. An impasta. It's so bad it makes me laugh. See, again, a lot of these questions were for Hugh, because I like telling bad jokes when good comedians are here. All right. What period of American history saw the development and use of automobiles, telephones, motion pictures, radio, and electrical appliances? Andy said the information age. Vicky said the industrial age. So then I said, no, give me like years or like a decade. Bosie wrote, hey. I don't know why he wrote that. Andy wrote the 20s. Vicky wrote the 50s. Vicky, the 50s was, the television and stuff, but it was, in fact, the automobiles, the telephones, motion pictures, radio, and electrical appliances were, in fact, the 20s. So Andy got that one right as well. Andy's gotten only one wrong so far. Okay. So you guys did answer, but the it's funny, the program wouldn't allow them to go through, so I just had to let them come in. All right. It was an honor to get the fake pasta one wrong. Impasta, you're killing me, Smalls. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, there you go. All right, so last question. Whether you're gay, straight, or bi, name the top 10 sex positions for everyone. That works out for all, no matter which way you swing. Bosie, doggy, missionary, 59. I think he meant 69. 10 more because I got tired. Okay. I like a 77 because you get 8 more. Andy got the peanut question wrong too, so he got 2 wrong. Calm down, Vicky. Just calm down. All right. So, all right, those are Bosie's answers. That's all you can come up with, apparently. All right, Vicky says, missionary, cowgirl, doggy, reverse cowgirl, 69 on the side, and 5 more. Oh, I forgot anal. Whoa. Did you now? Did you forget anal? Andy, missionary, doggy, cowgirl, reverse cowgirl, 69, prostate. I don't know. You mean what, like just rubbing it? The seat. I don't know what that is either. The Houdini, the Simba, the Angry Pirate, San Francisco Bird Feeder. Please tell me you just made up words, like you just made up, titles. All right, so you guys got some of those right. Bruh, prostrate. What did I say? Oh, did I say prostate? All right, so the answers I have, doggy style, which both you guys said, missionary, cowgirl, or cowboy, or cow they, reverse cowgirl, spooning, 69, scissoring, prone boning, which is when the bottom is laying flat with the top penetrating from behind and laying on them. So you're laying flat. Penetrate. Oh, okay, yeah, right. Oral, which I don't know, to me is the same as 69, but and then number 10, masturbating together at the same time. Andy asks, straight people scissor? I asked the same question. That was the only one that really didn't make sense to me. The one you struggle with is prostrate. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I've never heard of a straight couple scissoring. But that's the those are the 10: doggy, missionary, cowboy, girl, they, reverse cowgirl, spooning, 69, scissoring, prone boning, oral, masturbating. Yeah, that's 10. But you guys did pretty well. You did pretty well there. So you all, the 3 of you get credit. All right, with that, perfect timing. Time for us to go. Hope you guys enjoyed the show today. My apologies for not, for being by myself here. We hope Hugh Murray is okay. We look forward to seeing him tonight with Hershey and the Keegs. That's tonight at 9 o'clock. Hershey and the Keegs with Hugh Murray and Travis Grant. So we got two of our beloved podcasts joining in tonight. So that's tonight at 9 on the YouTube channel. Before that, at 7:30, we got Good Times, Bad Times with Joey Petroni. That's live on the YouTube channel as well. All right, we're out of here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play Christy Miller's video from yesterday, and then I'm going to play this today's video right after that to wish Don Sill all the best, him and Wendy. We're out of here. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. We're not here tomorrow, of course. Circling the Drain tomorrow. And Why You Like This, both on tomorrow night at on the YouTube channel, and hopefully it works. We've been having some technical difficulties with those shows, but If they don't go live, we'll just record them and post them immediately after. All right? Enjoy yourselves, and I'll see you Thursday. Allison Chadwick and Kristen Danko will be here with me on Thursday. And on Friday, Andy will be here, and I'll be playing a recorded interview with Mark Riccadonna that I'm actually going to be recording this afternoon. All right, everybody enjoy yourselves. Here come the videos for Don and Wendy. See you later.
Wait, who's Don Sill? Oh, he's that guy from the Gov's Radio, Donversations, yeah. And how the hell did he land a hot piece of ass like Wendy? Can somebody explain this to me? On a serious note, you idiots, I love you both so much. Congratulations, and I can't wait until you're legally bound to each other so she can legally punch you in the face when you don't act right. Oh, grrr. I love you both. Have a great wedding, and that's all I got.
So I just found out Don Sill's getting married. I can't believe somebody would actually marry that guy. But I've thought about it. He's marrying that girl, Sally. Wait, Sally's Walker's girl. Or was his girl? Wendy! I knew it. I was just messing with you. Wendy is a smart girl because she figures she'll never, ever have to take out the garbage ever again. She'll never have to kill a bug, and she'll definitely never, ever have to plunge into the toilet for the rest of her life. So she did good. But all kidding aside, guys, I want to wish you guys a lifetime of happiness like me and my hubby, Bobby. I hope you have a great life together. Enjoy your wedding day, and I hope to see you soon.